What if I told you that Allah is preparing a heart just for you? Not a passing love, not an attachment that leaves you emptier than before, but a relationship that God Himself is opening at the right time with the right person. You think it's over, but it's only the beginning. It's not your imagination. It's not a coincidence. There is a spiritual confirmation behind what you feel. What you are about to hear here is not a human promise. It is a reading of the moment that you may be living without knowing it. If you are watching this video, it is probably not by chance. Stay until the end, because Allah could well be telling you, it's time to love again. And this time, I am the one who opens the door for you. 1. When your heart was broken, but your faith remained. You know, there was a time when I believed my heart would never recover. It beat, yes, but it was just mechanical. There was no more light in it. I felt as if everything I had offered had been rejected, that everything I had built had crumbled in my hands, without me understanding why. I remember the nights when I stared at the ceiling, silently, without asking questions out loud, but with 1,000 question marks in my heart. I no longer asked Allah to bring someone back. I no longer asked for love. I was just afraid of loving again, afraid of giving again, and of losing myself once again. But despite everything, I continued to lower my eyes. I continued to preserve my adab, to answer gently, to not seek revenge. Even when I had every reason to become bitter, I chose to remain dignified. Not for the sake of others, but because deep down, I knew that Allah was watching me. And maybe that's what changed everything. Because one day, without forcing anything, something began to move in my heart. A kind of calm, not euphoria, not all-consuming passion, just a strange peace, as if something inside me was saying, it's over. You're no longer in the stage of pain. You're entering another phase, and that phase is Rahmah, mercy. I was no longer begging for love. I was ready to accept what Allah wanted to send me, not what I wanted to force. That's when I understood. Sometimes, Allah closes the hearts around you so that you understand that the true connection will never come by chance, but by His will. And today, I feel something new. I feel that my heart hasn't just healed. It's changed. It has learned to no longer depend on human presence to exist. It has learned to beat for Allah first. And perhaps that's why He is preparing it to beat again for someone. But this time, with peace, with balance, with discernment. I'm in no hurry. I'm not deluded. But I recognize the subtle signs that the Almighty places when He prepares a halal connection. It's not noisy. It's not unstable. It's not exhausting. It's gentle, constant, pure. Like a silent answer to all the prayers I've prayed without words. And I believe that Allah has never forgotten me. He has only formed me. He has readjusted me. And now He is gently allowing me to reconnect with love. A love that resembles me, but above all, that includes Him. 2. Divine renewal. What God repairs, He makes more beautiful. You must understand one thing. Allah never breaks a heart for fun. When He removes something or someone from your life, it is never arbitrary. It is never without hikmah, without wisdom. There is a hidden gain in every loss, and in every void, a space that only He knows how to fill. You thought you had lost something irreplaceable, but Allah never took away what was truly yours. He only detached you from what could have destroyed your balance. That is qadar, this decree that you don't always understand at the time, but which takes on its full meaning when you see one day what He had truly planned for you. There is beauty in having placed everything in His hands. That is tawakkul. It's not just saying, I trust, it's keeping silent within when answers are slow. It's remaining dignified when you have no proof, but you move forward anyway, because your heart knows that what comes from Allah will never destroy you. Sometimes, healing begins with a stripping away of your inner self. Allah removes illusions, attachments, fleeting loves, to rebuild a version of yourself that will no longer seek love as an escape, but as a sacred act, an act that begins with Him. And this is where it gets profound. What He is preparing for you now isn't just a relationship, it's a reconnection. Something ruhani, spiritual, before being emotional or physical. A bond where soul recognizes soul, not just where the gaze seeks outward beauty. You may notice that you are no longer attracted to the same things. You no longer seek to be chosen. You wait to be recognized by the one God has prepared for your heart. It's subtle, but powerful. And it's precisely the sign that you are experiencing an inner shift. Do you feel that lightness, that calm when you think about the idea of loving again? It's not carelessness, it's divine authorization. It's Allah gently saying to you, you have healed, now you can receive. And He doesn't shout, He doesn't impose, He makes you feel. He sends you clarity through gentle signs, unexpected eases, people who don't come to complicate your life but to align it. You may not know who it is yet. You don't know when it will happen. But what you feel today, this new peace, this heart that no longer trembles when we speak of love, is already a response, a spiritual proclamation. Because the heart that God has repaired, He will not leave it to chance. He will unite it with another heart that knows the same silent language, that of sincerity. 3. Recognize the signs. When Allah speaks to your heart quietly, there are things we don't understand right away. They are neither noisy nor logical, but they touch the innermost being with a precision that only Allah can orchestrate. You meet Him, you encounter her, and nothing screams the obvious. But there is a peace, not an excitement, a peace. A presence that doesn't disturb, a gaze that doesn't distract, an energy that anchors you instead of agitating you. And that's when everything begins to make sense, even without words. There are people you meet who remind you of Allah without even mentioning religion, not with their words, but with their calm, their sincerity, their modesty, even their silence. They don't invite you to them. They invite you to refocus. And that's when you feel. It's not an attraction, it's a reminder, a subtle reminder of the divine, a return to the center. Allah doesn't always speak loudly. He doesn't shout His signs in your ear. He slips them into ordinary moments, a clean smile, a measured word, a feeling of being safe. Without knowing why, you sense that this person isn't trying to possess you, but to understand you. They steal nothing. They press nothing. They wait. They observe. They respect. And your heart, which has known confusion, recognizes the difference. You've met people who wanted to conquer you, but this isn't it. It's not a conquest. It's a connection, an echo that only the heart can hear. And this heart, Allah has been healing it for months, even years. Then He speaks to you, not with a voice, but with sudden simplicity. Things fall into place without a struggle. Opportunities follow one another without forcing. It's not a disguised test. It's revealed mercy. And if you ask for a sign, look at the fluidity, not the butterflies, not the shivers. Look at the stability Allah places in you when faced with this person. Are you at peace? Do you feel you can move toward Allah together? Does this bond protect you or expose you? For Allah does not create confusion in what He has chosen for you. He brings clarity. And even if you don't have all the details, you have a green light in your soul, a serenity that cannot be explained. You don't know where it's going, but you know you're not afraid. And that's already an answer.
When Allah allows a heart to open quietly, a bond to begin without drama, a soul to approach without breaking yours, it's no coincidence. It's a discreet yes, a sacred yes. 4. Healthy love is love within limits. You want to love, it's natural. You feel something opening up in your life. A person enters, a connection is created. But be careful. Just because this connection is beautiful doesn't mean it's automatically blessed. There is a line that must not be crossed, a framework to respect. Because halal love never begins in chaos. When Allah grants you a relationship, He doesn't allow you to lose yourself in it. He doesn't give you an excuse to turn away from Him, even a little. On the contrary, the love He grants you is a tool, a means to bring you closer to your true nature. And your true nature is balance, modesty, and righteous intention. It is not a love that exhausts. It's not a bond that makes you doubt your faith, your worth, or your direction. If you need to hide what you're experiencing, if you move forward in the shadows, if you build hopes on haram, it's not a divine gift. It's a disguised test. Because love that begins with forbidden exchanges, promises without commitment, glances without limits, rarely ends in barakah. Allah is opening a door for you today, perhaps, but on one condition, that you enter through the right one, not the one of passions, not the one of impulses, the one of dignity. There are people who come into your life to test you, others to bring you into line, and you will recognize them not by what they say, but by what they respect. Someone who truly loves you doesn't push you to cross Allah's boundaries. He or she protects you, even from the two of you. He or she waits, even when it's difficult. Because sincere love doesn't rush. It preserves itself. Do you want to know if this bond is pure? Look at the fruits it produces. Do you pray better since he or she has been here? Do you feel your heart is more stable, your adab stronger, your modesty more solid? Or do you find yourself justifying the unjustifiable, retreating from what you had built spiritually? True love is the kind that doesn't drive you crazy. It's the kind that makes you more lucid, calmer, more disciplined. It's not a roller coaster, it's stable ground. It's not constant temptation, it's tranquility. If Allah allows a bond, He will place sacred barriers around it, not to suffocate you, but to protect you. Because a love built within divine limits becomes a light for two souls, a light that doesn't burn, a light that guides. Do not confuse freedom with laxity. Do not confuse love with attachment. And above all, do not confuse what is strong with what is just. 5. You prayed. You waited. Here is your confirmation. You did not break. When loneliness knocked at your door, you held firm. When emptiness cried out, you responded with dhikr. You shed tears in silence, but you did not throw your heart to the first passerby. You could have chosen the easy way out. You could have filled the emptiness with illusion. But you chose Allah. You said, "If you have deprived me today, it is to preserve me. And if you wish to give me, I will take only what you have written for me." And now, look at what is happening. See how the agitation has given way to serenity. See how your heart, once wary, is beginning to gently open, without fear, without pressure. It is not a storm, it is a breeze. It's not a burning fire, it's a gentle warmth. And it's in this gentleness that your confirmation lies hidden. Allah doesn't need to send you bursts of light or heavenly voices to speak to you. Sometimes His response is an inner stability you've never known, a profound calm the moment someone enters your life, a certainty without shouting, without tension. It's not in the spectacular that Allah always acts. It's in the peace that settles. It's in the coincidences that cease to be coincidences.
It's in this feeling that without having sought it, you are exactly where you need to be. Do not doubt. What you feel now, this peace that you thought impossible, it comes from above. You have been patient. You have cleansed your heart. You let go of what didn't respect you, what didn't deserve you. And today, Allah shows you. You see, I saw every tear. I heard every supplication. I prepared you for this. It's no coincidence that this person is coming now and not before. You might have ruined everything if it had happened sooner. You weren't ready, and neither was he or she. But today, you're both aligned with divine will, not perfect, but sincere, not ideal, but real. And in this reality, there is light. You can breathe. You no longer have to force it. You no longer have to beg for attention, to plead for love. Because what is written for you comes with nobility. What is meant for you speaks to you silently. What is blessed will not exhaust you. So raise your head. This is not a mirage. This is your moment. You have not been forgotten. You have been preserved, and today you are called to love again, but this time with blessing. If something inside you stirred while you listened to this message, it may not be a coincidence. It may be an answer. Allah knows what you've been through. He knows the nights you cried, the prayers no one heard. And when He decides to send someone to you, He does it with precision. But remember, this kind of love cannot be found. It must be received. And to receive it, you must be willing to earn it. Through faith, through sincerity, through patience. If you feel this message resonates with you, then share it. Someone else may need this confirmation today. Like, comment on what you feel, or share your story. Because your testimony could be the light someone is waiting for to find hope. And above all, save this video. Because sometimes Allah confirms, several times, so that your heart finally truly hears.